Sometime after this, Jesus crossed to the far shore of the Sea of Galilee, that is the Sea of Tiberias, and a great crowd of people followed him because they saw the sign he has performed by healing the sick. Then Jesus went up on a mountainside and sat down with his disciples. The Jewish Passover festival was near. Then, when Jesus looked up and saw a great crowd coming toward him, he said to Philip, where shall we buy bread for those people to eat? He asked this only to test him, for he already has in mind what he was going to do. Philip answered him, it would take more than half a year wage to buy enough bread for each one to have a bite. Another of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, spoke up. Here is the boy with 5 small barley loaves and 2 small fish. But how far will there go among too many? Jesus said, have the people sit down. There was plenty of grace in that place, and there sat down about 5,000 men were there. Jesus then took the loaf, gave thanks, and distributed to those who were seated as much as they wanted. He did the same with the fish. When they had all had enough to eat, he said to his disciples, gather the fish that are left over, let nothing be wasted. So they gathered them and filled twice 12 baskets with the piece of the 5 barley loaf left over by those who had eaten. After, after people saw the sign Jesus performed, they began to say, surely this is the prophet who is to come into the world. Jesus, knowing that they instead to come and make him king by force, withdrew again to a mountain by himself. When evening came, his disciples went down to the lake, where they got into a boat and set off across the lake for Capernaum. By now it was dark, and Jesus has not yet joined them. A strong wind was blowing, and the water aloft. When there has loved about three or 3 or 4 miles, there saw Jesus approaching the boat, walking on the water, and there was frightened, frightened, frightened. But he said to them, it is I, don't be afraid. Then they were willing to take him into the boat, and immediately the boat reached the shore where they were healing. The next day, the cloud that has stayed on the opposite shore of the lake realized that only one boat has been there, and that Jesus has not entered it with his disciple, but that there has gone away alone. Then some boat from Tiberias landed near the place where the people have eaten the bread after the Lord has given thanks. Once the crowd realized that neither Jesus nor his disciples were there, they got into the boat and went to Capernaum in search of Jesus. When they found him on the other side of the lake, they asked him, Rabbi, when did you get here? Jesus answered, very true, I tell you, you are looking for me, not because you saw the sign I performed, but because you aren't the love and has your fear. Do not work for food that spoils, but for food that endureth to eternal life, which the Son of Man will give you. For on him God the Father has placed his seal of approval. Then they asked him, what must we to do the work God requires? Jesus answered, the work of God is this, to believe in the one he has sent. So they asked him, what sign then will you give that we may see it and believe you? What will you do? Our ancestor ate the manna in the wilderness, as it is written, he gave them bread from heaven to eat. Jesus said to them, very true I tell you, it is not Moses who has given to you the bread from heaven, but it is my Father who gave you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is the bread that comes down from heaven and give life to the world. So that there say, away, give us this bread. Then Jesus declared, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. But as I told you, you have seen me, and still you do not believe. All those the Father gave me will come to me, and whoever comes to me I will never drive away. For I have come down from heaven to not do my will, but to do with the will of the him who sent me. And this is the will of him who sent me, that I shall lose none of all those he has given me, but raise them up at the last day. For my Father will is that everyone who look to the Son and believe in him shall have eternal life, and I will raise them up at the last day. At this the Jews there began to grumble about him, because he said, I am the bread that came down from heaven. They say it is not Jesus, the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know. How can he now say, I came down from the heaven? Stop grumbling about among yourselves. Server. Jesus answered, no one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draw them, and I will raise them up at the last day. It is written in the prophet, there will all be taught by God. Even one who has heard the Father and learned it from him come to me. No one has seen the Father except the one who is from God. Only he has seen the Father. Very true I tell you, the one who believes has eternal life. I am the bread of the life. Your ancestors ate the manna in the wilderness, yet they died. But there is the bread that come down from heaven, which anyone many may eat at night not die. I am the living bread that come down from the heaven. Whoever eats this bread will live forever. This bread is my flesh which I will give for the life of the world. Then that then the Jews begin to anger sharply, sharply among themselves. How can this man give us his flesh to eat? Jesus said to them, very truly I tell you, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. Whoever eats my flesh and drink my blood has eternal life, and I will raise them up at the last day. For my flesh is real food, and my blood is real drink. Whoever eats my flesh and drink my blood remain in me, and I am in them. Just as the living Father sent me, and I live because of the Father, so the one who feeds on me will live because of me. This is the bread that comes down from heaven. Your orchestra ate manna and died, but whoever feeds on this bread will live forever. He said this while teaching in the synagogue in Capernaum. On hearing it, many of his disciples say, "This is the hard teaching. Who can accept it?" Or word that his disciples were gambling about this. Jesus said to them, "Does this offend you? Then what if you see the Son of Man ascend to where he was before? The Spirit gives life, the flesh count for nothing. The word I have spoken to you, they are full of the Spirit and life. Yet there are some of you who do not believe. For Jesus has known from the beginning which of them did not believe and who would betray him. He went on to say, "This is why I told you that no one can come to me unless the Father has enabled them." From this time, many of his disciples turned back and no longer followed him. "Yes, you do not want to live too, do you?" Jesus asked it to 12. Simon Peter answered him, "Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the word of eternal life. We have come to believe and to know that you are the Holy One of God." Then Jesus replied, "Have I not chosen you, the 12? Yet one of you is a devil." He met Judah, the son of Simon Iscariot, who thought one of the 12 was later up to betray him.